out on your screens right now. And, in the most recent announcement, the Defence Acquisition Council, or the DAC, in their session that just concluded, it has, decided, or rather approved, the extension of emergency procurement framework until January 15, 2026. Now, this also is going to be allowing a lot of companies to participate. Having said that, they've also talked about some deferred mega deals as well. There are some proposals which are under the final review, and they were rather expected to consider approximately about 80,000 crore rupees in major procurement proposals today. So I'm just waiting for our reporter to join in because this is what the market was actually focusing in on as to what exactly happened about this 80,000 crore rupees of procurements which was on the table to be discussed. Any details coming in on that?
Yeah, we have a bunch of equipment that has been specified so far. It's the loiter munition system for the artillery regiments. This is the procurement green flag coming in. Low-level lightweight radars, long-range guided rocket ammunition, and the Pinaka multiple launch rocket system, along with a couple of aerial devices, drones, as well as some of the combat aircraft, Tejas aircraft that we're expecting to see. So yes, these are some of the names that have been out in this circular. But for more details, let's take it across to my colleague Prakash, who's been covering this and is here with all the details from the ground. Prakash.
Yeah, that's an important development coming in as the Defence Acquisition Council, chaired by the Defence Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, has cleared proposals worth rupees 79,000 crore to enhance the capabilities of the armed forces. A very significant development coming in. In fact, the proposal has been approved for the procurement of loiter munition system for artillery regiments, low-level lightweight radars, long-range guided rocket ammunition for Pinaka multiple rocket, launch rocket system, and integrated drone detection and system for Mk-2. So these are the important developments for the Indian Army, where significant proposals have been approved by the Defence Acquisition Council. As far as Indian Navy is concerned, several such proposals have been approved by the DAC, where high-frequency software-defined radios, leasing high-altitude, long-range, remotely piloted aircraft system, induction of BP tugs will, and these equipments and limitation, of course, these equipments and weapons will support the Indian Army to improve its capabilities going forward. As far as Indian Air Force is concerned, significant such proposals have been approved, such as automatic takeoff landing recording system, Astra Mk-2 missile, full mission simulator, and SPICE 1000 long-range guidance kits. So these are the key proposals which were approved by the Defence Acquisition Council, chaired by the Defence Minister. In fact, that's going to provide some significant boost to the domestic defence manufacturers, manufacturing companies, as these all procurement will be done through domestic defence procurement schemes. So these are a very significant development coming in. 90% of the weapons and the proposals which have been cleared today will be procured through domestic defence manufacturers. These are key development coming in, and of course, domestic defence manufacturing companies are going to get big proposals going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's discuss that point further. It's, of course, a sizable approval which has come in to the tune of 79,000 crore rupees. Although, to be fair, the market was already working with that 80,000 odd crore rupee number, and most of these stocks had already run up in anticipation of this actually going through. But we've got Harshit Kapadia on the show with us today. Harshit, hi, afternoon. How do you think this proposed 79,000 crore rupees in approvals affect the current order books of lead integrators, the likes of Bharat Electronics, Bharat Dynamics, etc.?
Yeah, hi, afternoon. So definitely it will boost the order inflow potential for some of the companies which you already mentioned, some of the even private sector companies who are expected to get this order. But this is just a proposal which has been accepted. It generally takes around 18 months to 2 years for proposal to convert into order inflow for most of the names which will be getting the orders. But yes, you have both private as well as public sector will be beneficiary for this 79,000 crores.
And Harshit, how does this 79,000 crore figure play into India's existing defense capex? And you shared with us the timeline. So would it be fair to understand that the near-term force readiness that we require for our Navy, Army and Air Force, that's going to take some time from now?
Yes. So for the short-term part of it, I think there's already been an emergency procurement segment 5, which has been ordered out. Some are also right now under ordering stage, where the proposal was 40,000 crores. So this is over and above that 79,000 crores, which they have approved. So that's how we look at it.
Okay. And Harshit, how much of the 79,000 crore DAC approval is likely to translate into executable orders in, let's say, FY27, FY28? And who do you think the biggest beneficiaries here could be?
I think as far as FY27 is concerned, maybe some small size orders which can get converted into order like full mission simulators for light combat, aircraft, Tejas, etc. So smaller systems can get converted, but our larger systems like Pinaka rocket or loitering munitions, which they have ordered out, that will at least take more than 18 months time frame to get converted into order inflow, which will take FY28 time frame. The major beneficiary that we understand is Bharat Electronics within this frame, for the solar industries, Bharat Dynamics. These are the three major players who will get benefit of the 79,000 crore capex.
Harshit, now with the implementation or rather, effective implementation of the DPM, how will the 25% procurement reservation for MSMEs and the removal of bid security requirements specifically benefit, say, defense startups like a Zen Technologies or a Data Pattern in this latest round?
So if you look at, as far as MSMEs are concerned, there has been, PSU has been buying a lot of the components from them, and recently there have been 5 lists which each of the PSUs have released where they want to increase their procurement from MSMEs. So it will definitely see a lot of startups which are trying to get into this defense ecosystem will see a bigger boost, as the idea of the government is that PSUs would be a lead integrators, and these small and mid-cap private defense companies would be the component suppliers to this integrated system. So there is a huge inflow which you will see more coming to private sector than to the PSUs.
So similarly, what about private giants like an L&T or a Tata Advanced Systems participating in complex projects? Do you think that's also likely, that integration?
Yes. So if you look at the defense ecosystem is now broken down into 3 segments. One is defense PSUs, which will be larger integrators of very critical system. There is a large defense private sector, with some of which you already mentioned names, L&T, Tata, Adani, who will be a lead integrator for some of the modern kind of missiles, which are also critical and where we have technology deficits. So some of them can do a collaborative work with some global giant and can bring those technologies here through this integration mode. And third is the small and mid-cap private defense companies who would be the support system for the entire 2 large ecosystem of private and public PSUs. That's how we look at the defense ecosystem to build in.
Okay, and Harshit, talk to us about what impact this DAC nod could have on indigenized weapon production, or is it going to be done in tie-ups with OEMs? And also the bigger picture, what could this do to India's defense exports?
So as far as defense ecosystem is concerned, so what will happen is, 90% of this 80,000 crores is what is being looked through indigenization sources. So we will see a lot of design and development activities from both PSUs as well as private sector. So Bharat Electronics, being one of the lead, integrators and designer of a lot of these systems, will see a primary beneficiary. It will then rotate down to companies like Data Patterns, Astra Microwave, unlisted companies like Ananda Technologies, Apollo Microsystem, etc. will be a secondary benefit of these ecosystem play. As far as exports are concerned, right now we are looking at exports in terms of missiles. That's our first, segment that we are looking at. But after that, we are looking at even helicopters and, aircraft as well. So that's still in the fray, but nothing conclusive has come till date.
And I guess, Harshit, this would also sort of change the investment outlook for firms which are specializing in, maintenance, repair, overhaul as well. Although it's a very long gestation outlook, but still, the market would want to re-rate these companies too, right?
Absolutely. So if you look at the entire budget, major part of the budget gets into spares and the other equipment, which is the larger form of the defense capex which goes to. So as more indigenization happens, we have to do more MROs here. A lot of foreign collaborations are also happening. So we are trying to understand, how the spares and ecosystem will work here. So that is another area of sustained growth which we will see, but over a longer term time frame.
Okay, Harshit, thanks so much for joining in with that quick take. Great to get your insight as always. Okay, we've done for the day, and it's the last trading week of the calendar year. We've closed in off from the day's highs, although the day started off itself on a very quiet note. We've knocked off about 100 odd points, and the breadth of the market as well hugely opened up in favor of the declines. But Kunal, what does it tell you about where the markets are going to head next?
They're heading nowhere.
Okay.
I think the last 3 months have been very sideways. It looks like that maybe the markets are waiting for the December expiry to end, and I think we should just about hang around to that 26,000 mark. So unless there is a major change which happens across the global markets up front, I would believe that the indices over here for the next couple of days, I think should just about consolidate.
Okay, so that's the take on the market, and in fact where we are heading, Kunal says that's absolutely nowhere, where we've shut shop under that 25,950 mark. So let's see what tomorrow holds on for us. It's the monthly Nifty expiry, so we're going to be bracing ourselves for that. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Closing Trades. Thanks so much for tuning in.